Hello there. So at the risk of completely putting up too many videos about this and boring the pants off you about this, I have another video about the unraveling asbestos. Let's call it Asbestos Gate. I don't want to be bombarding you with like video after video after video about this, but because this is actually quite a fast moving situation, it's kind of unraveling quite rapidly. I know that in my last video I told you that I had received a response from Beauty Glazed and I showed copies of the DMs. I just feel like it's extremely important to update you, keep you in the loop as and when I do get new information, because I am very, very conscious that a lot of you are probably feeling really, really scared right now. You're probably feeling unsure about, what makeup is safe to use. You're probably questioning, suspicious of every single makeup product you have whenever you're looking at your makeup. I just feel like for those reasons it's really, really important that I keep you in the loop. So today I just wanted to update you because I received something further from Beauty Glazed. So in the DM that they sent me that I showed in the last video, they asked me if I would like to receive copies of I think it was like up and coming tests that they were going to be doing, because unless I kind of read it incorrectly, which is quite possible, but they said in there that it would take 6 weeks for some of the tests to come back and then a month for the other tests to come back. So I asked them if they would just forward the test certificates over to my email address, so that I could check out if they are bullshitting or not. Like, really, obviously, like, and what I want to be very conscious of is, because so if this is something that I am now questioning a lot, and this is me being completely transparent and open with you all, as I always will be, but I'm very, very aware that when I put up the first video, it was like opened a can of worms. And I'm not saying that in it was a bad thing. I'm so glad I did put up that video and I would do it again tomorrow, but it opened up a can of worms in the sense that I was going off a couple of reports, right, basically, but they came from the FDA. So I thought, yeah, it's definitely like a trusted source. I'm very conscious that I basically said, throw away all of your Beauty Glazed eyeshadow palettes. And looking back, I'm thinking, should I have said that really? Because I was going off a very reputable source, which I definitely think that asbestos was found in the Beauty Glazed Gorgeous Me palette. I definitely believe that. I believe the source. It was reputable. So I'm not in any way doubting that. But I think for me to say throw away all your palettes was maybe I don't know, maybe if I should have quite said that, but then at the same time, that was how I was feeling at the time. I was feeling like suddenly very suspicious of Beauty Glazed, and I'm not saying that by any means, I'm definitely not saying that Beauty Glazed are in the clear. I'm definitely not saying that. We still need to see some substantial reports, basically. But the reason for this video takes was also because I've got some certificates that Beauty Glazed did send me. Sent them over to me yesterday and I printed them all out today. So I have all of the certificates here. Unfortunately, the one certificate that I am most interested in seeing, which is the asbestos one, it's in Chinese. So unfortunately I can't read that, but the rest of them are in English, so I can read them. We've got many different certificates here. I will put pictures of those up in the video now so that you can have a look more closely. So the first one relates to Cosmetic Good Manufacturing Practice Guidelines, published by the US Food and Drug Administration, so the FDA. This certificate relates to the powder unit, so the powder that they put into their cosmetics. I'm not going to even pretend that I know anything else about what this relates to, because I don't. They've got a certificate and this is certifying that their powder unit is manufactured to the guidelines, which are the Cosmetic Good Manufacturing Practice Guidelines of 2008, published by the US Food and Drug Administration. So I think that's great. So this was certified on the 23rd of June 2020, and it looks like this will need to be done again in 3 years' time. So it's like a 3-year cycle. It'll next need to be done in 2023. So the second one is relating to, again, good manufacturing practices, and it's the ISO 22716 from 2007, relating to the powder unit. The cycle dates are the same, so it's a 3-yearly cycle. So the next two documents that Beauty Glazed sent are test reports. These are showing the testing that was done relating to the Gorgeous Me eyeshadow palette. So they actually tested out the Gorgeous Me eyeshadow on 33 subjects, 1 man and 32 women aged between 20 and 37 years old. They were volunteers that were selected as subjects, and we have a list of information which shows the gender, the age of the subject, the Fitzpatrick Pathak skin types. Not quite sure what that is. Okay, so I really thought it was important and useful that I find out what the Fitzpatrick skin type is all about. I did a little Googling, and I'm going to just read you out the description that I've got from the Healthline website. So it says, about the Fitzpatrick scale. If you've ever tried to match foundation or concealer to your skin, you know just how tricky skin typing can be. Enter Fitzpatrick skin typing, a scientific skin type classification. Though this form of skin typing won't help you find your perfect shade, it can tell you just how much shade you should get on sunny days. Developed in 1975, the system classifies skin type according to the amount of pigment your skin has and your skin's reaction to sun exposure. This information can help predict your overall risk of sun damage and skin cancer. Once you know your risk level, you can arm yourself with the tools you need to protect your skin. There's 6 different skin types according to this system. It says it's possible that you won't meet all of the characteristics of any one type, so you should go with the one that best describes you. If you're interested, I would recommend you Google it and you can find out more about it. But I can see why Beauty Glazed testing and probably other cosmetic testing, it would be done according to this system, because I suppose it gives them like a full range of subjects, a full range of skin types, so that they can thoroughly test out their product. I imagine that those subjects who had a very kind of vulnerable skin type that was very easily damaged, then those subjects will probably be the best subjects to test your cosmetics on. We've all learned something today. Well, you probably haven't, but I've definitely learned something today. Yeah, I'm definitely learning as I go along here, but anyway, I'll send you back to the rest of the video. Most of these test subjects seem to be the category 3, with a few being category 2. I mean, all of this is fascinating and is hugely intriguing, and I definitely will take some time to do my own research. But as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm just really keen to give you the information as I receive it as quickly as possible, so that we can try to find some peace in our own minds about this whole shambles, you know what I mean? And also, I don't want to be thinking badly of Beauty Glazed. I don't want anyone to be thinking badly of Beauty Glazed if it turns out that, I mean, they did. There was asbestos found in the Gorgeous Me eyeshadow palette. But I'm just really hoping that maybe we can find some peace of mind about all of this, so that going forward, we're not going to be too worried about using makeup, and enjoying makeup, because makeup, is such a fun part of my life, as I've said many times. Not just wearing makeup, not just experimenting with makeup, but you know, creating videos for my YouTube channel. It just brings me so much joy, and I don't want to be worried every time I'm using makeup, and I don't want you to be worried every time you're using makeup, which is why I just want to try and reassure and put everyone's minds at ease, all the while still being quite cynical and still keeping our wits about us, so that we just have all of the information and awareness that we need to make the right decisions for you know, ourselves. We have another test report, so there's 2 of them, and in this particular test report, this is testing various toxins that could be found within makeup. So we have aerobic bacteria, molds and yeast, thermotolerant coliform bacteria, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Staphylococcus aureus. By the way, I know I'm not pronouncing any of these correctly, but I'm trying my best. We have lead, we have cadmium, we have arsenic, and we have mercury. You have a table here. You've got the standard, you have the result, and then they have the conclusion in the last column. So for all of these toxins, everything passed. So that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so next we have the asbestos report, which this definitely is the report that I am most interested in. Unfortunately, this one, it is all in Chinese. I don't know how well you can see that, which is a real shame, because I am so keen to see like what this actually says, but we're going to try and get it translated, because my dad's wife's brother is married to a Chinese lady, so I'm hoping that we can get this one translated, and I can come back to you with that. Okay, so in the meantime of seeing if my dad's wife's brother's wife, who is Chinese, so in the meantime of us being able to kind of find out if she could translate the asbestos document, my dad somehow, and I'm not quite sure how, he put the document through some kind of translator program, and we got something back, but it didn't really make any sense. So I will get back to you on the actual translation of the document, because I just don't want to be guessing, or like trying to interpret something and it be completely incorrect. I think it's crucial that I stick to the facts here, and I'm not just like going off on one, just like trying to form my own conclusions. I want to know the facts, and then I can actually form a conclusion, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. We have another test report, again testing for those toxins, and they passed on everything, and the final report that I have is in Chinese, so unfortunately I am not going to be able to really tell you anything about that, unfortunately, but I do believe that Beauty Glazed, as per their DM, they are retesting, so I'm hoping that I will get some more information in the not too distant future, just to you know, have full transparency with you here. I'm going to read you the email that all of these reports and certificates were attached to. So it says, "Dear Anwen, this email will show some certificates about Gorgeous Me." They spelled Gorgeous Me again. Like, I don't want to be nitpicking here, especially when we are dealing with something a lot more serious, but Gorgeous Me, I actually think it's a really cute name, honestly, but it's not the right name, is it? Anyway, about Gorgeous Me in our factory. Hope you can check and read them. It is very, very important, and now we also pay all full attention to it. For the responsibility, FDA testing is on processing. So I think they're saying is processing. So maybe they are talking about the more recent tests that they have just had done. And before the testing results coming out, also hope you can help us to protect our brand. So many people love us. Self-praise is no praise at all. Like, let's face it. We will be responsible. Do not worry. Please keep in touch. And if we have further updates on the testing, we will contact you as soon as possible. Also, for the new test is tested by FDA and needs 1 month for the result. I hope you can be patient to it. I do believe that they are taking this seriously. Like, I definitely do. Like, I can't doubt they are, because, you know, they have sent me these reports and certificates. They've been in touch. They've ordered new tests, which they promised they will send me. So I definitely don't feel like they're ignoring the issue, which is a wonderful. But as I said, I am still remaining quite cynical about this. I am a very soft person generally, so I can often be easily swayed. Instinctively, I want to believe that everyone is good, and I want to believe that, you know, people are being honest with me and tell me the truth. So that does kind of, I suppose, you know, make me quite easy to be swayed, because I'm quite soft. I'm a softie. But I am trying to remain cynical, and I really, really appreciate all of your feedback about this, about the reports. I mean, I'm not an expert on any of this, but from what I've read in the reports and the tests, well, the certificates, although I don't really know what the certificates really relate to at this point, but from the tests that they've done on, you know, the subjects, there were no adverse reactions. Okay, so I'm so sorry, but I completely forgot to tell you this earlier, but according to the test report that was done on the 33 subjects, which I feel like really bad calling like human beings subjects, it just kind of doesn't feel right. But I forgot to mention, with the most important thing, that the human patch test results show that no adverse occurrence among 33. There were no negative, no adverse reactions. So I forgot to mention the most important part. I got completely distracted with the Fitzpatrick situation, and do you know what? I'm trying really, really hard to get everything correct and get all of this information out there and make sure that I'm not messing up on anything. And I'm so sorry, my mind is like all over the place with this, but yeah, I'm so sorry that I completely neglected to mention that earlier. So I'm really, really sorry. That were noted from the other tests on the toxins, you know, it passed everything. So from that basis, you know, that's great. Asbestos report, I still cannot make that out, but would they have sent it to me if it was positive for asbestos? I don't know. So that's yet to be confirmed. Also, just whilst we're discussing this, I got a response from UCANB. At a similar time that I first sent Beauty Glazed a DM, I sent UCANB a DM asking them if they were affiliated in any way with Beauty Glazed and if they kind of shared manufacturers, because I know with AliExpress, it's obvious that a lot of the brands kind of are quite interlinked and connected. So yeah, I asked them, and then they replied back this morning, and I will read the response. I'll read the email even. It's not a response really. They sent me an email. Okay, so I'm so sorry, but for whatever reason, I cannot log on to my emails right now. So I'm going to have to end the video here, but I will come back in a sec once I've managed to find that email. So, okay, so I'm so sorry. I was having some issues with my email, so I wasn't able to pull up the email from UCANB, but I'm going to just read it out to you. And they also attached a couple of attachments, so I will show you photos of them, and I wasn't able to print these ones out. I'm so sorry, but I am not going to be able to show you the UCANB certificates that they sent me just yet, because I emailed UCANB to ask. I did the same with Beauty Glazed, to ask if it was okay that I showed the certificates and reports in a YouTube video, because I just don't not want to get in any trouble by putting their stuff out there, if that makes sense. So Beauty Glazed had come back to me and said, yeah, that's fine, just go ahead and show them. But I've just not had a response from UCAN-B yet because I received their stuff just a little bit later. So I'm just think it's wise to just hold back until I get their authorization for that. I know that some people may think that I'm being a little bit of a safe Cindy right now, but I do believe that it's always worth checking, you know what I mean? So anyway, I will show you them probably in another video, but I did just want to let you know that UCAN-B had responded, and I know UCAN-B, they're not the issue here at all. I did feel like I had an obligation to ask them, seeing as, you know, I have a eyeshadow palette out with them, so I just felt like I needed to also invite them into this dialogue, if that makes sense. But I do understand that Beauty Glazed, their palette had tested positive for asbestos. There's nothing out there to say any of UCAN-B's makeup have tested positive, so they are very different. But it's just because I have this palette with UCAN-B, I felt that I had to be responsible and also ask them and reach out to them, you know what I mean? But first off, I'm going to read out the body of the email. By the way, if my face is looking a bit red, it's because I just washed my face and I don't know why it's red. It has no reason to be red. My skin's getting more sensitive these days, and anyway, let's not even go there. But anyway, so it says, hello Anwen, hope you are all well. The products of UCAN-B and the products of Beauty Glazed are not made in the same factory, and the materials used are also different. We use high quality talcum powder that does not contain asbestos. Attached is our certificate for your reference. Beauty Glazed sells our products through distributor channels. We don't know much about Beauty Glazed. So they're just like, yeah, no, don't know much. Okay, so I know that not everything in this video specifically relates to asbestos. The one report that I received from Beauty Glazed that did specifically relate to asbestos, I've still not been able to translate, unfortunately. So I will get back to you on that ASAP, because I don't want to forget that that is the primary focus of this whole investigation. I don't want to call it investigation, but I'm going to. Let's just call it investigation, because I can't think of any other word for it. But I think it's really, really important to show these documents, the certificates, the reports, because for me anyway, and I'm not saying that Beauty Glazed in my good books, because I've still not received answers from them about whether they recalled the Gorgeous Me palette once they found out about the positive test result. And I also had another question about the frequency of their testing procedures. So do they have like a regime? So is it an annual test? Is it a quarterly test? I have asked those questions and I've not had a response as yet. So I definitely do have more digging around to do. But I really wanted to get this video up in the meantime, because I do feel like with these documents that I've shown today, it definitely does show that Beauty Glazed are testing their products, which, you know, I've been an AliExpress fan for a long time, and I'm not dumping like Beauty Glazed into like a general like bucket of like AliExpress. But I have had many questions from viewers in the past as to you know, how safe is makeup from AliExpress? You know, if it's that cheap, surely they don't do any testing. I've had people say, oh my gosh, I would never buy any makeup from AliExpress because it's so cheap and you don't know what they're putting in there. And these are all valid questions, like they really, really are. But I think that by me finding out about this whole asbestos situation, it's given me answers to questions that not necessarily that I've been asking, but that other people have asked, or other opinions people have had about the safety of cosmetics from AliExpress. So on a broader scale, I can see that this investigation is kind of developing in other ways and maybe providing some kind of answers or peace of mind about you know, questions about the standards and the compliance and just the health and safety of these cosmetics that are sold on AliExpress. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does. I'm extremely tired today because I've just been spending all of my time just like focusing on this, thinking about it, being stressed about it, honestly, because for me it's such an important topic and situation that I really want to try to understand a lot better. So I am probably not at my most eloquent right now, so I really hope that you're able to understand what I'm trying to say. I just think that these documents, although they don't relate directly to asbestos, they give us a bigger picture of Beauty Glazed and their attention and focus on health and safety. But this definitely has not calmed my mind. I still want more. I want more. I need more. You need more. You deserve more. So yeah, I'm going to carry on the digging. So I'll come back to you once I've got some clarification on this asbestos report that we weren't able to read, unfortunately. But I did just want to end the video today with telling you that my UCAN-B, oh my gosh, I always forgot the name. My collab palette with UCAN-B is currently on its way to a lab to be tested. I'm not going to go into that now because I just want to focus on one thing at a time, but my next video will be all about that. So if you do want to find out more or you're interested in this, then there will be another video coming in a day or two, and that's going to be about the testing of my UCAN-B palette, and also UCAN-B sent me over some of their documents as well, so I'm going to just talk a little bit about that. But anyway guys, I am going to go. I hope that this video was somewhat useful, informative, and I feel like we're getting closer and closer to maybe like get some clarity on the situation. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you as always for watching the video. Thank you for all your support, all your wonderful comments, all of your encouragement for me to keeping on with this. So I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye.